Chan Cha stays in the ball game for Korea, working with an 8-5 lead into the bottom of the 6th inning. 6, 7, and 8 due up for Chinese Taipei. And the first pitch to Guo Hei Gao, the right fielder, misses for ball 1. Gao singled in the 2nd inning and lined out in the 3rd. Chen and Lin to follow. High pop, right field. Easy play for Sun. It was a game started by Hyunjong Yang. 3 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 6. But all 3 of those runs came across in that 2nd inning, and it was a wild 2nd inning. Korea scored 5 in the top of the frame. And we showed you a moment ago that it could have been even worse for Chinese Taipei if not for a great play by their left fielder. So they scored 5. They led it 6-0 going into the bottom of the 2nd inning when Taipei came back with 3 of their own. 2 in the top of the 4th by Korea, and 2 in the bottom of the 4th inning for Chinese Taipei. Gets us to our 8-5 score here in the bottom of the 6th. Final game of Pool A here in Seoul. As the Kingdom of the Netherlands and the undefeated Israel off to Tokyo in round 2. Those 2 teams squared off earlier this afternoon. Israel coming in their first WBC and able to knock off the heavily favored, star-studded Kingdom of the Netherlands to keep their record perfect in their first trip to the World Baseball Classic.
And it's going to be interesting to see how Jerry Weinstein rolls out his pitching for the 2nd round in Tokyo. There's a little bit more wiggle room with his pitchers as far as restrictions. You can throw 80 pitches with the limit. The limit in this pool was 65. Jason Marquis has started twice in this pool, and he figures to start Sunday. It was a tune-up for him today. But a great story for Israel advancing in its first WBC to the 2nd round.
Pitching coach for Korea, Dong-yeol Sun. As it looks like we are freshening up the rosin bag. It's gotten quite a bit of attention, that rosin bag, in this ball game, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's well, the rosin bag not so much, but that powdered bag. You see, that's the little powder, the rosin bag over there right by the spike cleaner, that has gotten the same amount of attention.
Getting a grip on the baseball has certainly been a problem in this game. There have been 5 hit by pitches.
These pitchers have remarked that the Major League Baseball, even though it's rubbed up with mud, it's a lot more slick. It affects the breaking pitches, the split finger fastballs, the changeup. The ball that they normally use feels a little smaller. It's completely white, has a tacky feel, and interestingly enough, Major League Baseball has commissioned Rawlings to develop some prototype baseballs that do not require mud being applied to take some of the slickness off of them, with the idea about enforcing the rule and with the letter of the law about pitchers using pine tar as a grip enhancer or bullfrog sunscreen and rosin.
Is the statute of limitations out, or can I ask you if you used anything, or you want to plead the 5th? I'll give you that option.
No pleading the 5th. I mean, I felt naked if I didn't have pine tar. And the other interesting thing about that rosin bag behind the hill is it gets below 60 degrees and it actually becomes slick. It doesn't really enhance your grip. These guys are using a type of powder, not necessarily rosin, to try to get a better grip on these Major League Baseballs.
Lined and through for a base hit. Chinese Taipei will bring the tying run to the plate with 1 out in the 6th.
Yes, they still got a chance.
So after the fly out, a walk and a base hit, and that brings up Jae-Xuan Lin, who is 1 for 1 in this ball game, and that one was a big one, a loud one in the 4th inning, Joe.
Quick hands on the inside part of the plate, all the way towards the back wall. That was smoked. He leans on one, he ties it up.
The 0-1 in the dirt, a ball and a strike. They know it. They know what he represents. The tying run here in the 6th.
I think they're saying, let's go. It is loud and enthusiastic.
You know, we've been calling these games for however many days we've been here, and we have the headsets on, but every once in a while you just want to take the headsets off and actually hear what it's like to be in the yard. You can see it, you can feel it, but you can't quite hear it.
Yeah, great vibe.
Pop this one up. Infield fly in effect. 2 outs. So around to the top of the order now, and Shin Lung Hu, the DH, who struck out in the 1st. Had a 2-run single in the 2nd, and lined out in the 4th.
They got it going on.
They got megaphones. They're documenting this whole thing. Here's the pitch. Base hit through the left side. Being waved around and scoring the run is Lin. And it's 8-6. Second RBI single for Hu, his 3rd ribby in fact, and it is a 2-run game. So it's Chen who comes around to score on the base hit. Lin moves to 2nd, and on at 1st is Hu, as In Shik Kim, the manager of Korea, looks on.
So quite literally, for the first time, Paul, who's on 1st? I'll show myself. I'll show myself out.
Well, you might not want to leave just yet. Chi Hao Chang, the left fielder who homered against the Kingdom of the Netherlands, digs in. 2 on and 2 out in the 6th.
Well, the Taiwanese fans have gotten Chinese Taipei right back into it. They have come alive.
0 for 3 with a strikeout in this one. The 0-1. This was his high fly ball, towering home run against the Kingdom of the Netherlands. As he salutes the supporters of Chinese Taipei. He'd like to take that sort of trip around the bases here in the 6th. $18 runs in 24 innings for the Chinese Taipei offense.
That home run, he was able to drop the barrel on it down and in. He's looking for something on the inner third of the plate coming from the left-hander.
Park and Jang loosening up for Korea. In the bullpen. A ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Crucial spot in this ball game. 1 and 2 and 2 outs. As Korea tries to hang on to their 8-6 lead. Upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
See if he tries to sweep that breaking ball. No, he's coming in.
Stays alive. Lin the runner on second, and Hu at first. Again, the 2-2 to Chang. Base hit up the middle. Lin around third, he'll score. And Chinese Taipei within a run.
You don't think these guys are playing for something? What a comeback. Smashed up the middle. Chinese Taipei's fans, looks like they got their guys back into it. Yes, sir. Let's go.
Advancing to third on the hit was Hu, so he's on third while Chang's on first. And Ji Shenjiang, the third baseman, will dig in. 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Tying run 90 feet away. Called strike 1. Once down 6-0. It's now 8-7 Chinese Taipei, but that's as close as they'll get here in the 6th. They get a couple back and trail it by 1. Great week for us here, and even though this game is just for pride and the hope of not having to qualify, it has certainly been an exciting ball game. 8-7 into the bottom of the 7th as Siwan Zhang, the 29-year-old who's been playing in the KBO since 2007, throws a strike past the number 4 hitter, Chi Sheng Lin, who has struck out 3 times in this game. He's retiring from the national team after this WBC. How many more at-bats for him? 0-2.
You know, he is profiled as a career power hitter. His timing's been a little bit off, not only today but the past couple of games. You see he's got 30-30 type ability, stolen bases and home runs. Rare double threat.
Breaking ball misses upstairs from Jang, who began playing with the now defunct Hyundai Unicorns. He made the first 7 starts of his career this season. He'd spent his entire career as a reliever. Of course, coming out of the pen here in the 7th, the 4th pitcher of the night for Korea. All 3 of their pitchers have given up runs. Yang allowed 3, Sim 2, and Cha 2 as well. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 4th time Lin has been set down on strikes. There's 1 away.
Just looks like his timing has really been off. That fastball blown by him, and it's been a tough night. He was tardy on that fastball, a little tied up as well. Frustrating.
Yishuan Lin, the first baseman, double and a run scored in the 2nd, and a double in the 3rd.
Well, you certainly didn't think this was going to be a 1-run game in the first couple innings, did you?
No. Not down 6-0 after an inning and a half. But Taipei has fought back to make this a game. And again, the 2nd time in the last few days where they've put themselves in a 6-0 hole. They did that against Israel. And even though they lost that game 15-7, their bats started to come to life a little bit. They carried that into their next game against the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Led for a good chunk of that game before losing on a walk-off walk. Pitcher covers for out number 2.
Nice feed by the first baseman, getting him the ball early to where he could just catch it and then go find the bag. It'd be difficult when the ball arrives at the same time the pitcher is getting to the base. See him just get down, get him the ball early. Play that's practiced so often in spring training and oftentimes not executed during the season. That was not the case there. Well done.
Wo Hei Gao, the right fielder, takes a look at ball 1. A single in the 2nd. And nothing since. 3 for 12 in this WBC. My guess is they sleep well here.
Huh?
They sleep well here. You expend all your energy for, we've been going for a little over 3 hours now. It's the bottom of the 7th inning. Very little let up on either side. Amazing atmosphere. Rip fair down the left field line and toward the corner. This should be extra bases for Gao, as he is into second base with a 2-out double.
Well, they just won't go away. Hooking it down the left field line, getting the barrel out. And a single away from making a huge comeback and tying a game.
Now it's up to Young Chi Chen. Reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the 2nd. Walked and scored in the 6th.
Well, their fans never in doubt.
No, they've been going for a long time.
Kind of unusual in the middle of the count coming out here. It wasn't like it was a incredibly well-timed swing by Chen.
So what do you think this chat could be?
Well,
it's not
Chen,
mechanics,
yeah.
right?
Chen's a number 7 hitter. It's the bottom of the order. And maybe it's about being careful with 2 outs and a base open, even though it would be the go-ahead run. Be a reminder to finish that breaking ball, make sure it really grinds on it to where it doesn't stay up and hang.
Two outs and a runner on second for Youngji Chen. It'll be an 0-1. Floated to right center, falling fast, it's down, and we are tied.
How about that? Right after the mound conference, here comes the breaking ball like it was suggested from the pitching coach off the end of the bat. And 13 is a lucky number.
Youngji Chen with the base hit into right center field, just in front of Young-Kyu Lee, the center fielder, who did his best to get there, but at the same time keep the ball in front of him.
I said early in the game that
on the backhand, Yang had to knock that one down, but heads up base running by Chen. He moves into scoring position with 2 outs.
that when Korea was scoring all the runs, the fact that it happened so early and their pitching staff did not control the game by having shutdown innings. Chinese Taipei never thought that they were out of it, and of course they're not. They've come back to tie it, and now the go-ahead run at second base.
The game is tied at 8 in the bottom of the 7th. The go-ahead run on at second base. At this point, I don't think Chinese Taipei really cares what the official scorer said, but just for bookkeeping purposes, at the moment, I'd leave the door open for an adjustment. That ball into center field was ruled a base hit and an E8, so no RBI for Chen. Again, it doesn't matter. The game's tied at 8. Broken bat right back to the mound. And the inning is over. But Chinese Taipei ties it here in Seoul.